because SIP is being conducted not only by the faculty members but by the students also, the senior students. So all the senior students are also welcome to the follow-up meeting. Now the students who are attending the students workshop, there is a workshop which is conducted in the previous week also. So those students who attended that workshop can also attend this follow-up meeting. This is for enriching the content within, ensuring the values within, self-development thus, and help others also to develop. So with this aim in focus, we continue our exploration regarding this UHV 1 part of SIP, which is offered in the SIP. Now, within a couple of weeks, we can have a discussion on how to conduct this SIP also for senior students as well as for the teachers, if there is a demand in this platform. Yeah, so with this brief introduction, let us go into the discussions. We have been discussing regarding this basic human aspiration and their fulfillment in the last Wednesday's meeting, where we have been discussing these two questions. Are happiness and prosperity really our basic aspirations? What is needed to fulfill these aspirations? These two questions. Through this exploration, we also will see what is this UHV 1 is all about, why we are doing this course, and what do I need to do further to fulfill my basic aspirations. The process is self-exploration. So whatever is stated or said in this program, in the UHV 1 program, is a proposal. Without assuming it to be true or false, we can verify the proposals on the basis of our own right, that is on the basis of our natural acceptance. Natural acceptance is an innate faculty with every one of us, which is invariant of time, place, or person, and with which we can find responses to our questions. We don't need any reference for this response to the questions when we refer to natural acceptance. There are many acceptances with every one of us, but there is only one natural acceptance, and that is same for every human being. This we have discussed with several examples in the last Wednesday also. So we ask these questions to ourselves, aspirations. Do we want to be happy? Do we want to be prosperous? And do we want the continuity of happiness and prosperity? And the response was yes from all the co-explorers. Then when we ask this question, my present state, am I happy? You can just replace we with I. Am I happy? Am I prosperous? Is there continuity of this happiness and prosperity? So here there were mixed responses. The continuity, maintaining this continuity is a bit difficult. That is what we can see from true exploration of ourselves. There we discussed regarding this gap between my aspirations, that is what I really want to be, and what is my present state, what I am. So what are we doing to fill this gap? Is this gap getting filled up, or this is getting widened? And should education help us to bridge this gap? So we explore into this. For that, we discussed this effort part also. What is the effort which we are taking? Is your effort for continuity of happiness and prosperity, or only for earning money, ensuring physical facility and its accumulation? This part also has been discussed, where we have explored that mostly we focus upon physical facility, but we, as a result of attending these workshops, we are now working for happiness and prosperity and their continuity also. But mostly, many students and many of us are working for this, making effort for ensuring this physical facility, accumulation of physical facility, assuming that that is going to give us happiness. So how we assume that happiness and prosperity will be ensured when we have enough physical facility? Yes and no are the responses, mixed response in the last Wednesday's meeting. And then what effort are we making other than accumulation of physical facility to be happy and prosperous? So we are exploring regarding that. Physical facility is necessary for human beings, but something more is required. But this is something more. That is what we are looking into. So what else? We can even make a list of what is required in addition to or over and above this physical facility. And when we make a list of that, we can group some of the responses into a few categories, including relationship. So do we want to be related with other human beings? This question was asked last Wednesday. Yeah. Siddhanji is typing relationship in the chat box. Very nice. So we can discuss with the students, like you can list those which are required over and above this physical facility to be happy and prosperous. So from that we can extract out this from the list. We can extract out the parameters or the items which are connected to this relationship. Yeah, so the human beings require this relationship. This is something which we have explored in the previous Wednesday's meeting. We have been seeing this in many workshops also. So we observe ourselves and see whether we require this or we ensure this relationship with other human being. Are we able to see that the relationship is there between human beings, or do we need to create it? What we can easily see is the relationship between our close ones, our close family members, our close relatives, our close friends, and the people around whom we know. But we observe that there is this relationship, but based on certain events. For example, if I ask someone to come at a certain time, but he is late by 5-10 minutes. It is getting repeated for a couple of days. I'm getting angry. Then I stop talking to him without actually finding out what is the reason behind this being late for these many days. Or I lend money to someone, he or she returns it in time, but at a certain occasion, I found that the money is not returned. I have an opposition with other person. So there can be several such reasons. Misunderstanding can be there. Like in the workshop, we say the student wished another student when he was going to the mess, but the second student did not wish back. So the first student thought that there is some kind of an opposition of for the second student with the first one. But later he realized that it is not so. So until he realized that what is the actual reason behind this not wishing or this kind of a behavior, there is this feeling of opposition. So arguments can happen, opposition can happen, fights can happen, even in the family with the close ones or close friends also it happens. With colleagues it happens, at work, in the marketplace it happens. And we asked the question in the last meeting, I think we asked the question that with whom we have complaints more? Is it with those people who are very close to us, or is it with those people who are not close to us? So sometimes I can ask is it with those people who are not at all known to me? With whom do I have more complaints? The closed ones or not? Or the other ones, very close to us? Chamundeshwari ji is typing. very close to us. Close to us, right? Why is it so? What do you think? Why is it so? Because of this evaluation. We do evaluate ourselves. We do evaluate the other human being also. Those who are close to us, we can have a better evaluation than those who are not close to. So because of this, there is we expect from them, right? Sridharanji is saying we expect from them. So this expectation part, when that is not met with, we feel like irritated, we feel like opposing, we feel like fighting. So even when this happens, we try to patch it up. Every time we have a fight, we want to resolve it. We try to resolve it. We say sorry, we patch up and promise not to fight in future. But this continues, right? I also remember to one of my colleagues, I stopped talking for a very long time because of a misunderstanding. The friend also did not talk to me for the same time, but later we started talking and resolved the issue, what was there. But we would have done that even with talking. But that kind of a competence was not there with me and with other friends. So we could realize that. But this happens quite continuously. We patch up the relationship, promise not to fight in future, but this continues. So does it happen with you? Does it happen with the students also? When you discuss this with, so if there are some students with in this meeting, they can respond. I'm giving mics to many of you. Not sure. Yeah. When I see the name, I cannot just recognize whether the participant is a student or a teacher. I'm just giving mic to many of you. So what do you think? This, when you try to patch up this relationship, this fight again happens? And if it happens, if the cycle repeats, that relationship, opposition, then again relationship, opposition. If this fight, if the cycle repeats, what is the reason for that? What do you think as a reason for this? What do you think as a reason for this fight or this cycle, repeating cycle?
Sir, may I answer?
Yeah, please go ahead.
I think
Jasper Ji. Yeah.
The reason for this is that we are not understanding the competence of other person, and we are expecting. And if the other person is not behaving as per our expectations, opposition comes in. And but still, we have the basic relationship is to have a relationship between the two. So that is again bringing us close. But again, when the expectations are not being satisfied, we go in opposition and we fight. So this may be the reason, I guess.
Yeah, nice response, Didi. Nice. So when I say the expectations are not met with, do I evaluate my own competence? You said the competence of the other is lacking. Yeah, that is there. There is lack of right understanding is also there with the other human being. But what about me? When I say my expectation is not meeting, what about my competence, my level of understanding? Am I missing out something? When I have this feeling of relationship with the other human being, I will not connect my happiness with my expectations. I will be having expectations, that is there, but my happiness is not connected to expectations. I can see that when the other human being is behaving like so because of his lack of competence and there is a lack of right understanding. So what is my role there? What is my role in such a case? I can improve my level of competence and help the other to improve his competence. Well, this will be discussed in detail in relationship part, in trust and respect. I need to help improve competence. Nice. That is written by Sridharan G in the chat box. Very good. Yeah, so this is a general scenario. So this, when we discuss with the students, they can connect this very easily. That is what I also experienced in my discussion with the students. This fight is happening. We want to solve it, resolve it. Again, this fight is happening. So this cycle continues. That is because of lack of understanding. So even though we don't want to, a fight does take place once again. And what we think is we want the other to improve because the other is lacking in competence, right? The other is lacking right understanding, so the other has to improve. What about me? The other also thinks the same thing because the other is also a human being. He also thinks the very same thing. He wants or she wants me to improve. Nobody improves. The fight again goes on. Right. In a workshop, what happened was there were two persons in opposition. One was with a hierarchically higher position. The other was in a lower post. So this ego was also there between them. There is a fight between these two people. They were very good friends earlier, but it so happened that they are in opposition because of some reason or the other. Now this one of the persons, that this person with this lower grade, he attended this workshop. After this discussion on relationship, this person wanted to call the other person because he was the old friend. So he called over phone. He called from another phone because his if the other person sees his mobile number, he may not pick it up. He's called ID. So he called from some other phone, and the other side, the phone was picked up. So from this side, the person number one told, "I am so and so." There is a silence at the other side. Then person number one continued that, "I wanted to speak to you. Shall I come there with my vehicle?" Then on the other side, there is a long silence, and after that, reply came, "No, I will come there. Please wait." So immediately the person number two, who is in a higher position, he came with his vehicle. And it was just like they were waiting for someone to start. So then all those kind of things like tears, speaking to each other, hugging, all those things were happening, and this friendship the friendship was there. They knew that this relationship is there with them, but they were waiting for the other to improve, as it is written here. So, but when somebody started to help the other or to help himself, I would say, then it automatically got resolved. That is it. We want the other to improve, and the other wants me to improve. Nobody takes an initiation. Let us take the initiation. I have a lack of right understanding. The other is also having this lack of right understanding. So why can't I take the initiative? So what is happening? Is this happening with you? Are incidents of reaction, not speaking to the other, arguments, so on and so forth, may lead to divorce also, right? Increasing or decreasing? You can explore your close relationships in the family, with the friends, in the workplace, in the society, increasing. You can see that this education is now improving this literacy rate, right? At the time of this independence, the literacy rate was like 12% only in the country. Now it is more than 70%. So many education institutions, so many kind of varied education is available, so many universities. But even then, the relationship part is going down. These fights are increasing, arguments are increasing, not speaking to the other, divorce, all these things are increasing in the society. So what is happening? This literacy rate, is it directly related to improving the human relationship, or that is it directly related to happiness? What do you think? It is not. In some states, you can see the literacy rate even going beyond 90, it is closing 100. In the state of Kerala, you can see it is closing 100. But even then, there is a lot of fights, a lot of arguments, a lot of blaming others is happening. What do you think? Does it happen with you also? Ego problems. Ranjan G is typing ego problems in the chat box. Yes. So what is the resolution? If this is a problem, what is the resolution? And what is the reason for this? If literacy rate is increasing, but along with that, this problems in the family is also increasing. Problems in the relationship is also increasing. Where is the resolution? Madan Singh ji, namaste.
हाँ नमस्ते श्री भैया जी नमस्ते. हाँ to just talk about the relationship. Actually, relationship is must for everyone. I want to share a couple which is living near to my house, and they always fight with each other. And the main reason of fighting is that the couples have got married 6 and 7 years ago, and now they have one children, and they always fight with each other. Before 1 year, the only man was going to work. Now the female partner is going on job and earning some money. In the beginning, they do not fight because the female was getting money and contributing in the family. But now, once again, they are now come into arguments and oppositions and fights. And as we are neighbors, and many times both quarrel and fight with each other. And as a neighbor, we have to go there to tell them that do not fight and live in harmony. Now the man says that when I was earning, that was not sufficient. He accepted, but when now the female is earning, and the female is saying that she is contributing, and it means she is giving money, and now there is some ego has been come in the in female, in his wife. So now she is treating the husband means not better than her. Yeah. So now when they were not earning, and just only one person is earning, that was not sufficient. Now both are earning, but now once again they have now sufficient money is coming for their livelihood. But now once again they are arguing and fighting. Yes, Sunilji.
Yeah. So, what is the problem? What is the resolution?
Here, reasons is that now the female has to understand that man has given his contributions earlier up to 7 years. Now she is contributing, and she do not show some egoistic. Means now she is earning, so it is. The man is cooperating with him, but however, I think they have some suspect etc something it is. Solution means they have to live in happiness and harmony. That is the way, and we are unable to understand how we can teach, we can understand that they live in harmony, because now they do not want to listen to anybody. They fight whenever means they have gotten arguments. You see, now the female is saying that I can brought up my child and I can live alone. It is now the issue is. So sir, now the team members of UHV I'm giving this problem to all you. What will be the solution of it?
Yeah, in fact, the solution is there with them. The problem is there with them. The solution is there with them. So, what is our role? We can just think of what is my role. What is your role? Our role is to help them to see the solution, not to give the solution. If we say some solution, that will be the doing part. They will not explore. And once they find some problem with the doing part, whatever we suggest as a solution, this fight will continue, as it is given on the top of the slide. The opposition of the fight, they may patch it up for some reason or the other. Then the original reason which was there, which will pop up again. So what is the problem? The problem we can see here that there is lack of understanding in the wife as well as husband, both of them. It is there. There is some argument from one side, there is another argument from the other side. It may be regarding this earning or something other. But ultimately, they are not able to see that the relationship is there between both of them. And that nobody is wanting to harm any other body, nobody is wanting to make the other unhappy. But because of the lack of competence, this is happening. So this is, in fact, lack of understanding the relationship. Maybe this is a word which we speak about the most nowadays, relationship. But have we understood this word rightly? We have to self-explore and see whether we have understood this word very rightly.
Yes, yes, right, Sunilji, right.
We need to create that. No, it is there. So we have to realize that this is there with every human being. And this lack of understanding will be there between two human beings. That is very natural. But so we have to see what is the problem.
They have to respect each other. They have to understand the actual situation behind it. And
Yes.
now they are not only just two, they have also a children of 4 or 5 years old. They have to see it also.
Yeah.
Yes.
The basic thing is that
Thank
the trust is there with every human being. The other intends to make me happy and prosperous. So this we can help them to see. We can help them to see things through their natural acceptance. That may resolve it. So when they can see things through their natural acceptance, they will listen to the other person. Each one will listen to the other person, and that may help. But on the other hand, if you give them some solution that you do this way, you do that way, that may not resolve the problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
Thank you, Sunil.
Yeah. So the problems which we see in the relationship, in spite of your acceptance for relationship, this is happening. And what is the reason for that? We can easily understand that this is due to lack of right understanding. As in the example which is put forward by Madanji, this is there. Lack of understanding. When you say lack of understanding, it is not just like the one of the participants shared with his wife during the tea break of the workshop. The resource person overheard that the participant was telling his wife that now I can understand the problem in our relationship. It is because you have a lack of competence. When I say you have a lack of competence, I'm not evaluating myself. When I evaluate myself, I can see that I am also having this lack of competence. So the statement which is made to the wife, like you have lack of competence itself, is a lack of competence. So I have this lack of right understanding. You have also this lack of right understanding. So let us try to understand that this right understanding is also necessary for human being. So now three things are there. Right understanding in the self, relationship with the other human being, and physical facility with the rest of the nature. The very basic thing we have been talking about for long regarding this in the workshops. But even then, we have to see whether we have understood this very clearly. Yeah. So now we ask the question, are all these three required? Is something redundant? Is anything more required? What do you think? Are all these three required? Are all these required? You can use the chat box. By the mic also. Yes, Sridharji, thank you. If all these three are required, is something missing? Is anything more required? What do you think? Ravindra Kunduji is typing yes. Is this yes is for the first question or the second question? Is something missing? What do you think? Is something redundant is there? Is anything more required? We can explore this. If there is anything more required, right feeling is required. That's what Ravindra Kunduji is typing. Yeah, the feeling is there in the relationship. When we say relationship, the relationship is expressed through the feeling or ensured through the feelings only. I can ensure this feeling, naturally acceptable feeling in myself, and in my expression, this will reflect and help the other human being is also seeing to see that what I am expressing is the naturally acceptable right feelings. So feelings are there in relationship. Yeah, clarity with right understanding, very true. Nice. So all these three things are required. And when these three things are there with a human being, nothing more is required. But the question is, are we working for these three? All the three. Really, are we working for these three? Or are we focusing upon the physical facility alone? Mostly physical facility. Yes. We can help the students also to see whether we are working for these three or just for physical facility. Help them also to explore. So this is what we refer to as full human potential. What is required for fulfilling the basic aspiration? Right understanding in the self, relationship with the other human being. The feeling part is there in the relationship. That is what is written on the left of that. Physical facility with the rest of the nature. In the priority. So I require this right understanding with the first priority. When my relationships are gathered by this right understanding with the other human being, I will be ensuring this naturally acceptable feelings within and help others also to see this naturally acceptable feelings within. So my interactions with other human beings will be accordingly to depict this naturally acceptable feelings, so that when I am ensuring these feelings within, I will be happy. When I am ensuring these feelings within, I will be happy. And when I express the feelings with others, I can ensure the feeling, I can help the other also to ensure the feeling within. So this is what we refer to as mutual happiness. When I work for this physical facility, gathered by the right understanding, then I can see that the prosperity is there. The feeling of prosperity is there with me. And I will try to protect the nature also. Without exploiting the nature, I will try to help the nature to nourish. So I am having this feeling of prosperity. And I have this feeling of, when I help the nature also to get protected, this mutual prosperity feeling is also coming. So this is what I want to be. The whole content of this UHV1 is speaking about this. Having these three parameters for the basic human aspirations to be fulfilled. Yeah, so let us help ourselves as well as the students also to see this, that these three are required for achieving or having this basic human aspiration, right understanding, relationship, and physical facility in that right priority. Mostly when we are working only for physical facility without the right understanding, this is the result. So with the other human being, when I cannot see the relationship with the other human being, and the understanding part is also missing in me, the result is I will be unhappy, and I am spreading this unhappiness through my behavior with other human being. So I will be unhappy, and I will make the other also unhappy. When I work for this physical facility, thickening the circle, which you can see there, the red circle surrounding the physical facility, I will just confine my boundary within that. Then deprivation is the result. I cannot see how much is required. I accumulate more and more. I exploit more from the nature. I try to preserve the nature, So this is depriving the others also. Right. So this is maybe my current situation, what I am right now. From this, I want to transform to this what I really want to be. So requirement for to fulfill the basic aspiration is that what you see on the right top, and my current state may be this left bottom. So this transformation is what I am working for, what you are working for, what every student is working for, what every other teacher is working for. So is it required to work for this transformation? Is it required to work for the transformation? Yes. Where do you want to be? On the left or on the right? You can ask these questions to the students also. Where do you want to be? Do you want to be on the left or on the right? On the right. John sir, thank you. Amaresh Patil ji, right, yeah. Sridharan ji, right. Good. So this transformation is desirable, as we can see very clearly, and let us help the students also to see that this is what we refer to as holistic development. The development of infrastructure is necessary, but that is physical facility again. That is also required, but more than that, more than this kind of urbanization, working for physical facility, what I have to work is to work for this holistic development in the self. I have to work with myself, and I can help others also to work for themselves. So I'm hand holding others who are behind me, and I seek help from the others who are in front of me in this transformation. So we can ask these questions to ourselves. Do you need to make effort for this transformation? Do I need to make effort for this transformation? I can see that for myself, I have to take effort for this transformation. What about you? I can ask a question to the students also. What about you? I can see myself. I have to make effort for this transformation because I have not reached this right top portion. I'm in between. So I will take effort. Will you join me? Or are you able to see that you also have to make effort to have this transformation? Do you need a holistic perspective to make this effort? Or can we see things piecemeal? And should education help you to make this effort? Very relevant questions. So we can spend some time upon all these questions till we get some response from the students. So education help you to make this effort. Yeah, we need holistic effort, holistic development for sure. What is the role of education? Does education help us to understand things rightly? Does education help us to see relationship through this right understanding? Does education help us to work for physical facility with our skills guided by the right understanding? Does education help me to understand what is right? Yeah, education is more helping overall development. Very nice. Education need to improve our competence in addition to upskilling. Yeah, skills are required. Education helps us to have the skills, and that is what we are mostly working for. But when the skills are gathered by this right understanding, that is helping me to see how much physical facility is required with a feeling of prosperity. I will help the nature to nurture. I will help the nature to get protected. And accordingly, I produce. education is a new path of hope. That is what Ranjanji is typing in the chat box. Yes. All of us are educators. All of us are teachers or students. So it is our responsibility to understand things first. Understanding harmony at all the 4 levels. So we come to that. So understanding what is right understanding is the most important part. We are working for this. Education develop overall skills and thoughts, lots of things. Yeah. Skills as well as right understanding. Very nice. So this transformation is necessary. It is desirable for me. That is what I can explore from this. And I am trying to be on the right, not on the left, on the screen. I need to make effort for this transformation. I can say this. I need a holistic perspective to make this effort. This also I can see through my exploration, and education is helping me. I can also help the other through education. That is what we are doing. Yeah, so this particular session is getting concluded with this. One purpose of UHV1 is for us to get a feel for the need to develop a holistic and human world vision, a holistic perspective. That is one of the purposes of this UHV1 program. That is to understand what is this development to the students. Development is not just for physical facilities, but it is for the self, for the human being. Even when the urbanization or this metros, all those kind of railway lines, all those kind of road networks, they are in place. Are the human beings happy with that? The human beings will run behind some other physical facility or some other thoughts. Is it not? So we require relationship. We require right understanding of relationship. We require the naturally acceptable feelings. We require the right understanding on physical facility also. So the skills are also to be gathered by right understanding. So we are working for that. So this transformation from what I am currently to what I want to be is what we refer to as the holistic development. So holistic means we include all 3: physical facility, relationship, and right understanding, and in the full expanse of our real life. That is our self, my individual level, human being level, our family, our friends, our classmates, seniors, teachers, every other human being. That is human relationships. Then our society, that is a bit more larger order than our institution. Society, including the workplace, our natural environment. So in this context, we will have the course of UHV2 in the next semester for understanding harmony and ethical human conduct in more detail. It will further help us to develop a holistic and humane world vision and living a fulfilling life. So this is a question asked to the students. Would you be interested to go for this UHV2? So what is discussed in this particular slide is one of the purposes of UHV1. That is to get a feel for the need to develop a holistic and human world vision. That is the key point in this particular slide. Yeah. I have a hand raised. Ranjanji, namaste.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, if a student won't be interested for UHV2 and few of them will be interested, then how we will take this particular program? Shall we conduct separately for those students?
That depends upon 2 things. One is it a mandatory course? That is one parameter. Second thing is why the student is not interested. We can just try to explore upon this? Why the student is not getting interested? Is it because of his personal reason? Is it because of the content of UHV1 not being delivered to him? Is it because of the lack of competence in the teacher, or is it because of the student's lack of competence?
Many a times they are saying that they have been overloaded with the other courses, sir.
Nice. So, but now we are speaking about including this UHV content to the syllabus of all the courses. So overload is there. So how can we help them? This is not going to be included as an additional program, but as part of the curriculum. So when they see that this is an overload, here there is in fact nothing to study, I would say. Here, what is there is to explore. They can listen to the content and they just need to explore. That is it. These proposals, can anyone by heart the proposal or can just explore the proposals?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
What we can do is in the introductory part or the UHV1 part, we can place the proposals with more examples so that the students can get connected to. The one reason why the students are telling that they are not interested is they're not getting connected to this. And all those excuses like overloading, other things, I have to do several other things, there is no time for UHV, that is coming because the connectivity is not there. What I can see from my personal experience is that I can see that I can now connect this UHV proposals in almost all my subjects. I can bring in the self-awareness part. I can bring in the self-exploration part. I can bring in the self-evaluation part. I can bring the harmony in the nature, harmony in society part in many of my technical subjects. I belong to civil engineering and I used to teach structural engineering and construction engineering subjects. I mean, today also I went to a university which is the Gandhigram Rural University, which is in Dindigul, where we have seen several of the projects which are being done for the rural society. The materials available from this rural areas are being made use of to construct, say, mud blocks. There are several projects, various kind of things, various improvisations in the say building material part. And when you say some of those buildings which are constructed, if you go into some of the buildings, you will be feeling the cold. This part of the country is very hot right now, Dindigul, Tamil Nadu.
Yes, sir.
But when you go into some of those buildings, some of the rooms, you can be very, very cold because of the type of construction. And that is typical kind of construction which they make use of the rural materials. They make use of the locally available materials in a very effective way. I'm not just telling about the technology, but people are having this technology, but it is not commercialized. So if you try to live with the nature, if you try to help the students also to see that this harmony in the nature can be ensured through your projects and through your study of the courses and work with the rest of the nature, then the UHV proposals will be automatically ensured within, automatically verified within. You don't need to deliberately do this. Even I would say UHV1, UHV2 are not required, but if you can include this in as part of the curriculum of other courses, this will come automatically, so that this is not going to be a burden for any students. And now we introduce that in the SIP part, this introductory workshop, so as they have to have a flavor of this proposals. Later, we help them to explore this in UHV2 in the second year. That is what is happening right now. And in future, we can see that this is being part of every other subject which they are learning.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Ranjan sir. Yeah, so we have just 3 minutes left out. So if you have any more questions, we can just take it. Also, we can see this form assignment for this week. So this is telling that take your list of aspirations and concerns from session 1 home assignment and find out what is needed to fulfill your aspirations and address your concerns. Is it right understanding? Is there clarity of the things, relationship, or right feeling and physical facility? That is, some examples are given like money, some real physical facility like food, clothes, shelter, mobile, etc. Also find out how much time and effort you put in every day in these 3 areas. So this can be your assignment for the day or for the week, I would say. In this aspirations and concerns, what is needed to fulfill the basic aspirations? This we can just list out. Whether we need, and to address your concerns, whether we need right understanding, relationship, or physical facility. And how much time are we and effort are we putting to each of these 3? Yeah, so an example is given here. If these are the aspirations, whether money is for right understanding, relationship, or physical facility. You can also add the purpose part of this. What is the purpose of this aspiration or aspiration? And accordingly, you can decide whether it is for right understanding, relationship, or physical facility. Name, fame, attention, etc. What is the in which category can you include that? Depending upon your own self-exploration. So this is what we can do. That is what we can do for the week. So if there is any specific questions, we can take it up. But otherwise, we can close the session for the day. Any sharing from anyone?
Bhaiya, good evening, Bhaiya.
Thanks. Good evening.
This is John from SRM.
Yeah.
This is regarding your slide, the last slide, where you say happiness is mutual and prosperity is mutual. Why do we use that word, Bhaiya, mutual? Because in the previous slide we say, this one only, mutual happiness and mutual prosperity. Because from my side, I try 100% to give happiness the people around me. Is there any guarantee the people who is actually take the happiness or take the relationship, will he be giving back the happiness to me? Or I don't understand the context of this word mutual.
Yeah, that's a very nice question. In fact, there is no guarantee, as you said, if the other person is going to be happy or not. But I can help the other person certainly. So when I have this right understanding, this understanding is not just in the individual level, but at all the other higher levels also, family, society, nature, existence. So in this way, I'm trying to help the other to be in happiness. I can ensure these feelings within, and I share these feelings within through my expressions. So this is leading towards mutual happiness. I may not be saying this immediately. What you're telling is very true. But when I continue my effort, I can see that the other person also sees, not just because of my expressions, not just because of what I am telling to them, but because they are saying that I am living in harmony. I am understanding harmony, I am living in harmony. So through my experience as an example, the other also may try to ensure this naturally acceptable feelings within. The other also may try to work for this right understanding, but with time. That is why we say that when I continuously take effort for this, the result is mutual happiness. And later we say that this is leading towards undivided society. But that will take time. It is not going to happen overnight. It will take a lot of time. But let us take the effort for that. And again, this mutual prosperity, I can see what is prosperity feeling within. That I can produce more than what is required. That is there with me. So I can preserve the nature also. So when I try to preserve the nature, the prosperity is shared with the nature. So it is not only that I am prosperous, I can help the nature also to be prosperous. There is nothing getting depleted. I'm trying to preserve the nature, and I'm spreading this feeling of prosperity to the other human beings also. these two things are also connected. The number 2 and number 3, the relationship and physical facility are also connected. So the result is mutual prosperity. Without depleting the nature, I am trying to produce my physical facilities.
Thank you, Bhaiya. Thank you. Nice.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you all dear co-explorers for your active participation. We will continue with the next session in that is session number 4 in the coming days exploration. So thank you so much. Namaste.